did see a lot of opportunity, right? There was a lot of opportunity for re-engagement. There was a lot of opportunity for, um, you know, rebuilding the communications mechanism. And so it's like, you're the NAACP and you have two people doing communications. How's that gonna work, right? And this is like 2017. And so, this is like first Trump, blah, 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 right? And so it's like we've got to get more people, we've got to get different people. And for us, it's important, like when I was hiring the team, it was from most important that we had people who could connect dots, who were smart people, who could connect dots, who um, were not afraid to be themselves, right? And so, on our team and on our staff, we have people who are into fashion, we have people who are into sports, we have people who are into music, we're people who are into art, we have people who are into wine, blah 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 blah. And I love all of that, and I say bring all of that, because that when we do that, that actually represents more of who the Black community is. And so then we get the better ideas, and we're kind of moving and clicking and moving and clicking. So I wasn't necessarily disappointed, but I did see a lot of opportunity where I'm like, well, here's some people who can use my skills.
Oh, I love that. I got a two-part question now since Chad took his two-part question. Um, um, the first part is, I want to know what was the most impactful campaign you've done with NAACP, and like, why do you feel like it worked? And then part two is, you're working in a social justice space, like that's so emotionally heavy. So like, what do you do to like, keep the energy light, but still, stay high impact, and how do you, recoup, rest, do your own sort of like decompression?
Hmm. So in March of 2020, we were launching this campaign, and it was it was around COVID, right? It was actually about COVID and health and how we were dying, and like disproportionately because of like all the things. But then at the end of, I think it was like middle of March, we got news about Breonna Taylor, and we got news about Ahmaud Arbery, and we were like, God, like people are supposed to be in their house, and even then you can't leave us alone. And so we launched a campaign called We Are Done Dying, and that really took off, because it was like, can y'all just leave us alone for half a beat? Like we can't, there's a global pandemic, and you couldn't keep your knee off George Floyd's neck. Like I get antsy even talking about it now. And so that campaign and all the things that we did around it, protests, like all of that was like really, really powerful and impactful. And I think part of that was because for once people had an opportunity to just stop and look and think and reflect on, like, oh my God, like we really put our knee on this man's neck for 9 minutes, and he was calling out to his mom, right? Like it's just, whew, like, so that's been the most impactful. Um, and it is heavy, right? And so even then, I spent most of that summer, moving around and doing all kinds of calls, whether it was to other social justice organizations, or to corporations who said, "How can we help?" or things like that. We did a lot. We did a lot during that time, and it was absolutely exhausting. But in our day to day, we know it's exhausting, but there's a part of it that is, we know why we are doing it, right? Everybody comes to work in social justice from a place of, I'm helping community, right? We give voice, like on a particular day, we try to channel what Black community would want to say in this moment, right? And sometimes that is, shut the sometimes it's a little, right? So right? Sometimes it's that. Sometimes it's, celebrating our joy, and we say nobody can take that joy away from us right now today. Not you, not like, sometimes we're standing in that. Um, but all the time we have a level of levity, like especially like on our calls and um, with our staff, where we need to breathe and we need to understand why we're doing it, but we also need to take care of ourselves